Joe Archino here with Army head football coach Jeff Monken. Coach, I've been tremendously honored to be able to cover the team this season. My first year being able to be around the team and you yourself. And, last year I was right here standing and I listened to you talk about this rivalry, what it meant to you to represent the U.S. Army in this game. You blew me away with your words, as you often do. But for the people at home maybe who haven't been able to hear you, just tell us, what does Army-Navy mean to you as the head coach of the Army Black Knights?
Oh, it's just incredible to be a part of such a historic rivalry, number one. To be able to be a competitor in what I think is the greatest rivalry in sports. To be a coach at West Point, it's a responsibility that we have that goes way beyond the football field. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to come be the coach at West Point. I knew that my example as a leader was going to extend beyond our locker room into the hearts of these guys that we coach on this team, and that would affect soldiers and their families, and so it's a great responsibility that I feel, and I think we all feel as leaders at West Point, and it's just incredible to be a part of that and represent something so much bigger than ourselves, and something that means so much to our nation, and certainly to represent every man and woman that serves in the United States Army and their families.
It's so well said, and like you said, there's some premier games in college football, but there's nothing like Army-Navy. It's a rivalry built on respect, and I think at the end of the day, you guys, when you take the field, you want to win. You're doing everything you can to win, but talk about that respect level that is always what underlies this game.
I think that people would probably be surprised to hear that those touchy-feely, we're in this thing together, we're brother against brother. That doesn't necessarily exist in the rivalry. That comes when these guys graduate and they serve, because it is a fact that at some point, guys that are playing in this game on our team, guys that are playing in this game on their team, may be called to serve together, to support each other, to help each other, to save each other's lives. And that's incredible to realize that may happen. But while this rivalry is going on, it is fierce and intense and physical, and we want to win. And the winner feels this great sense of accomplishment and excitement, and the loser feels this incredible agony and sense of defeat. And that's what this rivalry is. It is one that we desperately want to win, and so do they. It's what makes it such a great game.
I have to ask this too, from being around West Point and being in the press conference room after games, one of my favorite things is your parents being there. Two of the loveliest people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. I'm sure you've learned your whole life from them, but what does it mean to you to be the head coach of Army and to have mom and dad in the room? Is it something that gives you a comfort level? Is it just nice to have them being around?
I've got great parents. I'm very fortunate, and they're loving parents, and they travel to every game, and it's just they're supporting their son, just as all of us that have children want to support our own kids, and it's fantastic to have them there. My dad's on the sideline with us every game, and I just love having him there. He was my high school football coach, so it's incredible to be able to share that together, and know that they are incredibly proud of me and of our team, and so they're great folks. You're right, great parents. And they befriend everybody, and you've recognized that, but everybody else does as well. And they'll be here for the Army-Navy game. My mom, who could take a ticket up in the box where it's warm, chooses to sit outside. She wants to be right out there in the crowd, and my dad will be right down there on the sideline with us. So I'm excited they're going to be here with us as well.
That's just fantastic. And Coach, finally, I want to ask, you've had your ups and downs this season. You've had some really big moments. But one thing people always can count on is that Army is going to fight until the very end. No matter what the score is, Army is always fighting until the very end. In a game like this, where it's always so competitive, always in the trenches fighting, how important do you think that is, that resiliency? I've talked to a lot of your guys today. That's the key word. It's resiliency.
There's got to be that. And throughout the game, there has to be a sense of resiliency to play the next play, regardless of how it goes. You might have a very successful play where you do your job and you're able to defeat the guy across from you in the one-on-one battle. Well, you got to be resilient enough to come back and try to do it again. And if he gets the best of you on a play, you got to be resilient enough to come back and play the next play. And that goes for the season when we've had some disappointments this year and fallen short of what our goal was to win the game. But our guys continue to come back and give their best effort and fight to the finish, and that's what it's going to take to win this game. The previous 5 years, each year I've been here at Army, it's been a one-score game. And we've either been fighting to try to win the game by getting a score at the end, or holding them off and trying to keep them from getting a score at the end of the game to win. And that's what's made it just even more fierce, and I think an even better rivalry than it's ever been. So hopefully we can make it close again this year and find a way to win.
Coach, I can't wait to see it happen. It's been really a true honor getting to cover you and your team this season. Wish you and the team the best of luck. And you and Mom and Dad, I know it's going to be awesome seeing all you guys on the sideline. So thank you for some of your time today, and good luck in the big game ahead.
Thanks a lot, Beat Navy.